When I knew I was getting a job on the East Coast, I think it immediately became clear that I was going to use the relocation process and, put our house on the market, right? So I wanted to make sure I used the best agent that I could find here locally in Westlake Village, Conejo Valley. So, our home was actually listed when we first moved in here by Lydia Gable, and as well as our neighbor's home and others. So we knew we had good experiences personally, as well as our neighborhood experiences. So for us, it was kind of an easy decision to see, hey, could we actually convince our relocation to include Lydia as part of the package to list our home through. I think that was an easy decision, and we were immediately able to sign up with Lydia as our listing agent.
My husband and I, we move pretty fast when we experience moves. So it's important to have a team that's responsive and really on it. And there's so many details when it comes to moving, documentation, signing, back and forth, negotiations. So it was such a pleasure to be able to have like the same, if not faster, turnaround time, because that's really going to help move things along and get escrow and get contingencies and, have the house sold in the time frame that we needed it. So I think the team, as well as Lydia, of course, really knows how to approach getting the home on market, sold from various different angles. Drones, videographers, stagers, the number crunching, banks, lenders, people to come and actually make the internal changes and paint and do mulching. Like, she's kind of a one-man show, and her team is her great supports. So it was a pleasure, really. The turnaround time to get people here started was like within 24 hours. And that's hard because researching, ratings, who's great, who's affordable, it just cut out so much of that red tape, which is time lag and takes away from getting the house ready to be presentable for market.
Given it is a seller's market, we wanted to immediately list as soon as we could, right? For two reasons. We were obviously buying in a seller's market on the East Coast, hence we wanted to make sure we could get into that market as quick as possible, right? So, I think as soon as we realized we were listing, I think we moved to an open house, or at least a listing within like a week or so, right? So it's very quick turnaround time. I think that was very much appreciated. Remember, we actually went on an open house during Super Bowl weekend, which was interesting. So we did a full day on a Saturday and like a half day on Sunday, right? I can't remember how many people came through, but it was a really good turnaround. So I think that was impressive, even for Super Bowl Sunday. And we also scheduled a second follow-up open house the following weekend, right, where we also had some good turnaround and a lot of interested families that came through.
So we get an offer, and there was very minimal back and forth initially, and I think that's the most like tender kind of time, because there's so many feelings. You're excited that you have an offer, and you like the offer, and then inspection happens, and then there is that like delicate dance where you have to go back and forth. You can never tell if it's going to be a kind of situation, and I feel very fortunate that Lydia and her team really represented our best interests, so it didn't feel any harder than it should.
We just want to say thank you to the team, and we really recommend Lydia Gable Group.
Yeah, Lydia and her team are, as you heard, really fantastic, and they'll be with your best interests, which you can't get everywhere.